here's how you add another color. Now go ahead and be thoughtful with what colors you choose. I want something that is contrasted, like turquoise. So this string is still very long, so I'm just going to cut it down so that it's easy to show you how to attach a new string. So I showed you at the beginning for just a moment, but let me show you again. You want to have your strings parallel, not going opposite directions. So parallel, same direction, and then you want to wrap it around 2 fingers, even 3 fingers if you have enough string. Make a loop, go inside the loop, and grab your strings. Now, that's our knot. You can pull it really tight. You can even pull it that way. And this is extra, isn't it? So we can go ahead and trim that. We'll be tucking that in the back when we get there. So now I'm ready to go with my next color. So I'm going to continue to weave over under. And it looks like I have a little bit of yellow left that will be here in the center. And then we'll start with the turquoise. Oh, this turquoise string was connected to a red string. That's fine with me. That'll be pretty. Okay. Oh, over, under, over, under. Tie on before this gets too short. So remember, you line them up parallel, side by side, in the same direction. Wrap around a few fingers, make a loop, and then pull it through the loop. A little pretzel knot right there. Okay, squeeze it nice and tight, and then you can cut off some of the extra yarn that will end up tucking these little pieces behind. I'll show you that. So let's just go ahead and take a look here. I'm under here, so we need to go over, under, over, under, over, under. Now that we're a little closer to the end here, since our space is getting tight, we can go ahead and just use our cute little wire needle here. So like before, you just tie it on anywhere, real tight, real tight. That's how it stays. Okay. Now this may be my last color. Okay, so now I have my little needle. Maybe it'll be easier for me to go over, under. Maybe it'll be easier for me to grab that instead of the little string. Yeah, it's pretty good. Over, under. Over. And then under. So you can see I'm doing about 2 steps at once. It's actually a little easier. Over, under. Oh, and using this needle is very convenient, especially here where the space is smaller. So under, and that means this is over and then under. You can really start to see a fun, beautiful pattern there. It's called radial symmetry, when you have something symmetrical that radiates from the middle. Okay, so anyways, that's under, over, under, over, under. And look at that. You can see the knot. I just kind of pushed it down, and now it'll completely disappear once I continue weaving. So now we've got over, under, over, under. You'll know if you missed a step because you'll see your main string here, your spider web string. You'll see that if you miss an Okay, so I'm I'm about done, but I really want to add one more color. I want to add some pink. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here because I'm running out of length to tie on. So I need to go ahead and make sure I stop right there and decide what pink string do I want. Do I want that one or this purpley one? I think I'm going to go with just the pink for the last string. So remember, when we tie it, let me go ahead and cut off my little needle here. And you can try to cut off this extra string too, because that might be confusing once we start to use our needle again. Okay, now let's tie on. Well, let's actually first tie onto this since that's a little harder. So we're gonna keep our strings parallel, loop around a few fingers if you can, or just one finger. Bring your strings through the knot and tighten it. Trim off the excess. And then let's go ahead and attach it to our needle so we can have that nice, convenient, small needle to help us weave through the rest. I definitely recommend using this toward the very end here because it will start to get even harder once we do that because there's less space to move your fingers. Okay, stay tuned. Filled the inside of my clay loom with my weave, and now I'm going to show you how to tie it off. So you definitely want to end with the last string going through to the back, and then flip it over, and you'll see here I have all these little tails from the different colors, and they don't bother me because it's on the back. And now I'm going to tie this string to this string. Now I didn't leave a ton here, did I? So it's going to be a little challenging. Let's see if I can pull it off the needle. Oh, I sure did. You can try sliding it off, or you can cut it off if you have extra string, even better. Now, since they're a little bit short, it's a little harder, but lucky for us, we don't have to tie them parallel, side by side. Instead, we actually can cross like this and tie it normally. All right, so there's that. And then I'm going to do a double knot. And that's it, you guys. Once you've done a double knot, you can cut your string. If you want, you can do a triple knot just to be careful and extra safe there. Cut off any extra you have. And if you want, you can trim these down, but be careful. Don't trim them too far down. You don't want your weave to come apart. And there it is, right there. Pretty cool. Okay, so that's the top. That's the bottom. Now, some of us have little pendants. Some of our pendants might not have made it out of the kiln. We should all have a little hole at the top. So let me go ahead and show you how to finish it off with your little pendants or with the hole at the top. Again, we're going to use this pretty cool, handy needle here. Pick a color, any color you want. I guess I'll go ahead and use some pink. We're going to tie it to the needle, just as we did before. Tightly. Okay. I'll go ahead and show everybody how to do the top loop first. You tie any color you like to the top, put it through. Okay. And now, you can see how it's going right through there. Be careful with this, please. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna have your 2 strings parallel like we've done before, and then tie that knot with the 2 strings parallel that we've done before inside the weave. Now we want that because it's a strong knot that can hold the weight of this. Okay, so slide it down, make it nice and tight, and then you can go ahead and cut off the extra and you have your loop. So now you can hang your beautiful loom. And the same thing, well, we'll be doing something very similar to hang these at the bottom. So let me use some more pink string, and I'll need to use the needle again, so I took off the extra there. I'm gonna tie this back. The reason we need this needle, in case you need reminders, so we can get it through our holes. Some of our holes might be a little smaller than the others, so this is super helpful because really the wire inside is quite small and it can fit through little holes. So that's nice. Okay, since I only have a little bit of pink, I'm going to use it in the middle, and then I'll use yellow, I think, on the crescent shapes here. So we're going to go through the pendant, and we're going to go through the hole we want it to hang from. Okay, oopsies, looks like my string came off the needle. That's okay, tie it back. Things like this tend to happen. Something always will fall off, or you never know what can happen, but it's usually a happy accident. Okay, going through there. Let's see. Come on, string. Come on, string. Yay, I got it through. Okay, so I'm flipping this over, and I'm flipping over the pendant. If you threaded yours through the front instead of the back, you don't have to flip it. Now I'm just going to go ahead and cut off this because it's kind of in my way. And see what I have here? I have my 2 ends of the string together. And now we're going to tie a knot. It doesn't need to be the parallel knot. It'll just be a regular knot. And you can make this hang as high or as low as you would like. Don't make it too low though. You don't want it to dangle too much and break. So I just tied a double knot. So one of my pendants is now connected. I'm going to do that again a few more times, so if you missed it, you can always watch. All right, so I am finishing up tying my pendants to the bottom of the clay loom. You may not have made pendants, or let's say the pendants didn't come back to you because they might have cracked in the kiln, which just means you can hang strings of yarn down. It'll look really nice, like a dream catcher. You can also hang different things if you're at home, any other like beads or craft things like feathers if you'd like. You can hang anything you have at home to decorate it with if you don't have clay pendants. And then once you've attached things there and you have your strong loop at the top and your weaving is complete, you have finished, and congratulations, I'm sure it looks beautiful. If you love weaving, you can try some of the paper plate weavings that I have posted in the following slide in our Google slide deck. Thanks everyone. Great job, and I can't wait to see what you've created.